Hi, welcome to a video of my flea market finds part 2 of for Tuesday, July 29th, 2025. So the next purchase was something I did not want to splurge when I found it first, like 15-20 years ago, maybe more. But I'll show you the object and then show you why I bought it. Yeah, let's go in that order. I just changed my mind. So this was 35 earlier in the morning. I've offered 20. She said 25. I tried to get it for less and said no, I have to sell it to you for 25. So this is a rocking horse. 2 pieces of plywood, I guess it's called, painted plywood, and some screws here and some metallic painted metallic cords here, and a few rings here. So this is not a very safe toy. I wouldn't know. I'll explain to you why. I had this toy when I was about 8-9 months old, more or less. Not the same exact toy. This is a clean copy because I think I remember the one I saw like 20 years ago. Was in rougher shape than that, much rougher. So I'll show it to you again from this angle, more or less. Okay, let's look at the photo of me at using it. Like, it's a little bit blurry there, but yeah, there we go. You see it. So, and I'm 57. So imagine I buy antiques now. Now you see here, this is like clearly a tray you can put stuff there. But they misassembled this one. They put it vertically. At first I said I'm not going to temper it. 5 minutes later I said I'm going to fix it so it matches the photo. We'll have an extra hole, unfortunately, but that was misassembled because I don't see a hole for where it should have been. So it's going to match. When I'm going to do that, I have no idea. But yeah, it's cumbersome. I don't know where I'm going to put it, but I'm actually really happy that, because I saw it much earlier during the day and it was 35. I don't want to pay 35, but I kept hoping that nobody would have bought it, and I started stressing out when it was time to find it again. And I couldn't find the right aisle or the right kiosk because, of course, obviously stuff has moved around. But then I found it. I was, oh, there it is. And so even at first when I found it, I thought that it was a different seller who had found it, bought it, and was trying to sell it for more. I genuinely was afraid that had happened. No, it was the same seller, so I was okay. I got it for 25. After that amazing purchase, well, amazing for me, probably, I was holding out to buy this. I don't collect license plates, but I like to buy a few when there's a specific meaning. So I bought this 1977 Quebec plate because my dad's first car was a Chevy Nova 77 and he got it in 77. We have a few photos with it, and the license plate was blue that year. This is the cleanest one I've seen over the past weeks, and the cheapest one as well, because I've seen that $10-15 with rust around the... Heck, that's the cleanest one I've seen, and it was $5 freaking. I paid the $5 asked for it. I was so happy. Yep. So that was fun. Even a more expensive flea market, sometimes you find good scores. I should shut up because I have a lot more to show. I'm trying to avoid a third part. After that, remember on the first part I showed you a cup of slush puppy? Well, I got a second one. I went back to see the man. He had the second one. It was ready for me, and I gave him $1, like promised, for another empty cup of that slush puppy. So cute in Canada. I hate the smaller, uglier US version. I prefer our Canadian copy. And this has actually my 2 favorite versions in the same image. You have the 3D computer generated one, and you have the previous one of the previous versions of the drawn one. There we go. So I have my 2 cups that's going to go with the rest of the collection. Okay, next bit. Quick. So much to show. $1 cup. $2 for 2/78. In the previous part, I said I'm always amazed. I kept having sellers who would overprice most of their stuff and underprice something else. So that was amazing. So again, the guys' LPs were and 45s were really overpriced, and but his 78s were $1 each. And I did find 2 interesting ones, like nothing too special. This one I'm not happy I bought because I didn't read carefully the label. I sort of collect Three Sons records, but they have to be instrumental, and I forgot to check. It says vocal refrain by R.T. Dunn on both sides. So yeah, it ruins the record for me. The Three Sons has to be instrumental all through the day, and I love an old-fashioned song. What's amazing about this record is I put it in I carefully chose the right sleeve. It's from the States, RCA, Victor. It wasn't RCA, it seems here. But it says, for victory by United States war bonds and stamps. That's amazing. That's a World War II sleeve. Oh, that was cool. And this one is Spike Jones and the City Slickers. You wanna buy a bunny? Actually not very good. Knock Knock is a little bit better. Who's there? Knock Knock, who's there? So, and yeah, you let me have 2 pieces of cardboard he had so I wouldn't break them in my bag. So after these 2 records for $2, a lady had a Magna Ejector toy, like I have one here in a smaller box. But she had a bunch of these on top, and I knew right away they don't go together. I've explained it to the lady, and I said if I could have the slides, there is a little bit more than this. This is only 6 strips, and I don't remember how many there were. Almost double. And she wanted 15. Oof, no. And then I started pulling out the ones I wanted, the cartoon ones, and offered $10, and she agreed. So I got these for $10. This one is Behind the 8 Ball with Pinocchio. It's sort of like anyway. Oh, that was backwards. It should be that way. Anyway, Chip and Dale in Nuts to You. These 4 are in French, unfortunately, so worthless. Diminuteur. Vrai rabbit à des amis collants. I'm a little dumb that I bought these French ones. They're worthless. Oh my god, what happened there? Le sauvetage de Lady in the Tramp. Lady fait la difficile. I have a Kenner Give a Show, but it doesn't play very well. The molding is really bad, and you have to force every picture. Oh, it's a pain in the butt. I want to get another one, but I don't want to pay shipping and everything. So I got this for $10. Not all purchases are smart ones. Saw something. The seller was not there in his display, which showed me an item I wanted. We'll show it to you at the end of the video. And then I got a guy who had a whole bunch of records. All his LPs and 45s were way overpriced, and he had sections like disco, rock, French soundtracks. His disco was mostly just a few 12 inches and KTL compilations. I've asked him if he had any Ohio players. Didn't even know who they were. Okay, but what made me stay at his kiosk for almost 3 hours is that he had a whole bunch of 78s at 50 cents a piece, like dozens and dozens of albums like these full of 78s at 50 cents a piece. So I decided to go through all of them, and I did, and thankfully he had a little bench on wheels, and I sat on there, and I amassed, after I actually picked out a few small records, 3 of them, well, 4 technically, I'll show that to you at the end. I picked out 56 records in over the course of over 2 hours. I filled 4 12 slots, 12 sleeved books like this. One that has 3 sleeves. I'll show you later what's on the front cover of this. The records, the proper records for this specific album were not in the lot, but I didn't need them. But I needed the album. I'll show you why later. And I got 5 in regular sleeves. This is empty because that one, which we'll see in a moment, was inside one of the books. So, and I had I switch around, and you understand. Okay, we got 56 78s at 28 cents each. Let me show you the rest right away, okay? Before we look at the 78s, and then he had a few record readers. I was trying to find something that might be important to me, that despite his prices I would buy. And I'm almost, my French Disneyland record reader collection is almost complete. And I'm only missing a few. Actually, at the very end of the series, but in the part that I'm collecting, I was missing only 2. Now, not so long ago, a few years ago, I bought La Symphonie Pastorale from Fantasia. Had the wrong record inside, and the next day I had to go back to the flea market for something else. I've asked him about it, and he didn't want to take it back, and he didn't have the right record. I'll show it to you now. Let me kill that. Where's the picture? Right here, showing. There we go. This is what I bought in 2022, in December 2022, for a few dollars. La Symphonie Pastorale Fantasia, but inside was Les Castors Junior Toujours Prêt. Nothing to do with that. So I'm glad I kept the booklet, because he had the right book and record, but he won $10 freaking dollars. But he had a few sleeveless ones, bookless ones, and bang, he had La Symphonie Pastorale again. Clean record, no scratches, so I decided to get, of course, just this one. But I was going to bargain and try to get like down to $4 at least. But so that, we add that to the 56 78s. I found this, yoink. I was so happy because I knew it existed. I didn't want to order it on eBay. The shipping would have, or Discogs. Shipping wasn't worth it. But this is Mireille Mathieu with Patrick Duffy from Dallas. Dallas was a big hit in France. And here in Quebec, we watched the French dubbing from France. And the voices were good, although they said the South Fork instead of South Fork. That pissed me off every time. And so they sing in English. The songs are together. We're strong and something's going on. Nice picture sleeve, no writing. And it's a French pressing, no scratches. Still have no idea how much he would have charged me just for that. And this, I was so happy, so happy. Oh, I don't have the example to show you, but I have Mambo for Cats and a 78 album of Bix and Tram and Bix, which with this one would be my third. Don't tell me I forgot his name. Please let me remember his name. Darn it. What's his name? Because it's not written anywhere here. So I went by eye. Okay, I'm really sorry for that. I don't want to start the video all over again. Let me check it really fast on. Oh God, I have a hard time remembering his name. Okay, Mambo for Cats. Let me put this down there. Really sorry. We'll take a moment. I forgot to prepare for that. What's his name? What's his name? Who painted? Jim Flora, god damn it. I knew it was Jim Flora, I just couldn't remember it. So that's my third Jim Flora cover. Records are in okay shape, but I don't give a crap about the music. I just wanted that Jim Flora cover. So we have this, and this, plus the records here that I said 56 records, 28. He charged me $40 for the lot. I said, where's the deal? I mean, he said, well, I'm letting you have the albums there. He was talking about the actual albums, not the records. I have no idea how much he planned on charging me for the albums. This he had set 5, but I wanted to negotiate it, so I calculated in my head 50 cents, no deal on the 78s, so $28. So that would be 3 albums, let's say. So $12, 4 and 4. I would have paid 4 for this, 4 for this, and 4 for this. Okay, $40, that's it. But you'll see as we see what 78s I have in there, which I don't think will fit in one video. We'll get on it right now. Oh, and some of the 78s were in, weirdly enough, in these plastic sleeves that actually were meant for 10-inch LPs from France for kids. La Ronde des Enfants. 5 in yellow, 3 in blue, and that's what I showed at the beginning of the video. This cute wolf, he's so cute, shy wolf. I'm in love with that drawing. Wish that stupid sign didn't hide the part of his tail and his legs. So I had some records, cleaner ones, in these sleeves and then inserted in the albums. I'm a bit sneaky like that sometimes. But you should have seen the beaten up records that you had put in those sleeves. Okay, so let's look at the 78s we had. We just look at these 3 records. Let's jump right now to the 78s and let's try not to break anything. This was amazing. The record is very clean. It's before my time. My dad remembers seeing Hopalong Cassidy. It's from his generation. So Hopalong Cassidy and the Two-Legged Wolf. Canadian pressing. As you can see, barely any few tiny scratches, which are nothing on a 78 like that. Plays really well. And of course there's a tear there, some scotch tape. Oddly enough, I would have preferred almost any of these other season records. Bozo, and Wolf don't care about that. We Woodpecker would have been cool. Henry Hawk there, Tweety Pie. Puri that I have, but not the Discover. But I'll take it for 50 cents, sure. We have here, I bought some duplicates or spare copies of records I already have, a lot of those. Sometimes even upgrades. This is an upgrade to Daddy by the Andrews Sisters. I collect Andrews Sisters 78s and all kinds of records by them. Sleepy Serenade. Definitely a better copy than the one I already have. In the lot, I'll tell you right now, I have 3 Hank Williams. A bit beat up, but they still play. I bought 11 of them in one album for peanuts like years ago. I haven't typed them up, so I don't remember which one I have. So here we have Lonesome Whistle and Crazy Heart. This is Ink Spots and Ella Fitzgerald together. I didn't know they recorded together. I'm Making Believe and Into Each Life Some Rain Must Fall. And this is very clean. And this is a mistake. Actually, it's the only 78 out of 56 I regret buying. I missed the fact that it's not. I couldn't read the year back then, but it says 1920. I couldn't read if it was 20 or 26. So it's acoustic and not electrically recorded, and it's much a squarer recording than. It's not as cool as the title leads us to believe. Oh, sister, ain't that hot? And that side is I've got the Yes, We Have No Banana Blues by 2 different singers on top of that. Harry Blake and Robert Judson. And this side, Oh Sister Ain't That Hot, is by Warren Mitchell. This is a French pressing on Pâté Actuel. Well, that is actually terrible. It's the only one I might not keep. Now I gotta make sure I don't break them, so I have to find a way that by turning the pages with one free hand I don't break any 78. So let's keep the way I checked them when I was playing them on this record player there, my Electro Home Apollo 862 is how can I do that without breaking any records? We'll try to be careful. How did I do it last time? The Gypsy by the Ink Spots on this side is Everyone is Saying Hello Again. This is probably my best one in the lot. Leroy by Jack Scott, a nice rock and roll song in very playable shape. It goes for a few dollars. My True Love, what I call an RCA, a Victor VE. And by the way, this year, I don't have the date, but this year in 2025, it's the 100th anniversary of major release of electrically recorded records, which is the time period I start recording. I'm not keen on acoustically recorded 78, so this is amazing that it has reached 100 years. That said, this specific record, I'm not sure what year it came out, probably a little bit later. Supposing Foxtrot by Rudy Valley and his Connecticut Yankees. It's very clean, and this side is the one in the world. The next one is actually my favorite Rudy Valley song, and it's a spare copy. It might even be an upgrade. Stein's song. It's just such a beautiful melody. Not much on marches and drinking song, but the melody is just so beautiful. St. Louis Blues on the other side. French Canadian here, au Québec, par la famille Soucy. Chanson à répondre, c'est pas pire. Puis Quand Polion va voir Mina. Ça, c'est le premier disque de Muriel Millard. Muriel Millard a fait 4,78 tours. 3 en 1942 sur Bluebird. Et ça, c'est le premier des 3. Puis 1 en 1958 sur Pâté. L'armée canadienne, un cover de Deep in the Heart of Texas, c'est très mauvais. Et ça parle bien sûr, ça a rapport avec la Deuxième Guerre mondiale. Et Rose O'Day, un petit peu meilleure celle-là. Avec l'orgue joué par Léo Lafieur, des deux bords. So this is Muriel Millard was a music hall French-Canadian singer, and this is her very first record in 1942, a French-Canadian cover of Deep in the Heart of Texas, but about the Canadian Army. And of course, you've guessed the other side. This, I collect 1930s polkas. We have Double Talk by André Musette Orchestra. I call them the Victor V700s. And this side is at Chiquita's Café. Ça, je suis content de l'avoir trouvé parce que il y a plusieurs années dans un bazar, quelqu'un a pogné ça avant moi, puis j'étais pas de bonne humeur. Parce que je collectionne beaucoup de fleurs de lys, soit des autos québécois. Parmi les premiers 10, 100% québécois. Mais malgré que ça, c'est pas 100% québécois, c'est un cover. Méchant scratch dessus. Tigui, Tigui, passe-moi ton peigne par Marjolaine et Pierre avec orchestre. C'est le cover de Cookie, Cookie, Lend Me Your Comb. Et ce bord-là, il manque un mot parce que l'étiquette est déchirée. J'ai oublié de regarder sur Internet. Ça doit être Non, ne t'en va pas, d'après moi. Les Louvenoises. Puis c'est les Louvenoises qui chantent en demandant à Michel Louvain de pas s'en aller, de pas partir. C'est très drôle. J'aime bien ce bar-là. Ce bar-là est bien meilleur que celui-là. So I don't know if you caught some of that, but I've mentioned earlier Michel Louvain. He was the first French Canadian. No, it's not true. Not the first, but a major crooner in the 50s, and he did a cover of, well, he was a star, and this is a song sung by les Louvenoises, like the fans of Michel Louvain. I gotta make sure the records are not broken. That would suck. Years ago, I broke a Elvis 78 by doing a video like that with one hand. Oh, I was supposed to use a stand. Yeah, maybe I should do that later. Let's do When by Callan Twins. And this side is 3 O'Clock Thrill. Madame Edouard Bolduc. Gédéon amateur. Je collectionne les disques de la Bolduc. J'en ai pogné quelques-uns, mais tous très usés. Les pompiers de Saint-Éloi. On va enlever ça de là. Je veux tellement pas qu'il arrive à rien mes disques. Ça, c'est rare. Jean-Pierre Masson, le comédien qui jouait Séraphin Poudrier dans Les Belles Histoires des Pays d'en haut. Peut-être pas dans ces années-là, parce que c'était l'ancien Séraphin, j'ai oublié le nom, Hector Charland, je pense qu'il s'appelait le premier. En tout cas, il était chanteur. Jean-Pierre Masson. Quand une fille se marie, le bar, c'est le bal chez Boulet. Fait que je suis très content parce que je savais pas qu'il avait fait de 78 tours. The Flying Saucer Parts 1 and 2 by Buchanan and Goodman. This is actually vinyl 78, which is why I put it at the bottom of this album. Let's be careful not to break anything. The records nor the album, and I will actually put them on the floor as I finish with them. I'm not keen on putting them on a soft bed. And let's see how we're doing with time. We definitely won't have time to check everything, but we'll try and stick around for part 3. You'll see something special about the Finn album here. I'll keep that for the end. Let's start this one. I forgot to shine is. This is the Three Sons, again with a vocal refrain. Though you grew up to be some baby, and oh my darling. Glenn Miller and his orchestra. He had a bunch of Glenn Millers. I already have too many, but this one I kind of wanted. The title was cool. Keep 'em Flying, which I might already have. Dear Mom. Is there a vocal refrain that one? Yeah, that side has Ray E. Burrell and the Modernaires. Ça, c'est assez inhabituel. On voit pas, j'ai jamais vu ça. Hervé Brousseau, composition québécoise. Mon Patin, composition originale. Puis l'autre bord aussi. Au bassin Louise. Tabarnak, mon cassiste. Attention. An Andrew Sisters safety copy. I already have a perfect copy of this. This will be one to market. And Love Sends a Little Gift of Roses. Another Hank Williams, Jambalaya on the Bayou with Window Shopping. Actually very good. Spike Jones and his City Slickers. Siam, Bright Two-Step. And Come Josephine in My Flying Machine. Wait, Willie Lamotte, our biggest Western country singer of the 50s and 60s and 70s. He had his own TV show for years in the 70s. So we have 5 in a row. Some are safety copies, some I didn't have. Mon amour t'appartient, Pour un cowboy, Tu m'attendras, ma tendre mère, Je suis un cowboy canadien, Quand je regarde tomber la pluie, L'aventure, Je chante à cheval, Ma destinée, Allô, allô, petit Michel, Je ne pense plus à toi. And Susie Darling by Robin Luke, which I know I already have, but this was so clean. And Living's Loving You. So we'll stop the video here before we move on to the rest. And stick around for part 3.